anything you like.
It's so
What would you
boring.
like to talk about? These crowd are talking about fundamentalist bullshit over here. Not going to have that. Not going to join Islamic fundamentalist, Christian fundamentalist, any sort of fundamentalist. Life, unfortunately, is too short to waste it on fundamentalism. Somebody else's rotten thinking. Sorry, I've got my life. Hello, sir. How are you? Good. This is Florida State here. This man is one of our sometimes good hecklers, sometimes not so good.
Be careful.
Let's hope he's in a good mood today.
Not bad.
So, what are we going to talk about today? What matters? What matters? Before the bad hecklers come and decide that they want to take over the show.
They're on their way.
Well, I'm sure they are on their way. That little guy with the hat, the furry hat, the rabbit hat.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today? What matters to you? What do you want to talk about? Put away that sheet. Victoria, I don't want to see anything on paper. Just put that away. This is not a place for reading anything off paper. This is a place for talking. What do you two guys want to talk about? What's your names?
Aw, you scared them.
That's the whole thing. You're at Speaker's Corner. You're here to speak, not just to listen. That's the whole point. So what do you want to talk about today? They don't give you a choice. They'll just go on with their old rehashed fundamentalism no matter who's there. I've been here week after week. It's the same old drivel. And because it's a tourist trap, then they get people to listen to them. Listen, look at that fellow there. He's got a sheet. What on earth do you think he's talking about?
Bombs in there.
Bombs?
Irishman.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
Who's going to speak first?
I would say that you were English, but then you
Yes.
probably aren't. Because there's no
Spoken
such
like a
thing.
paddy, all right?
There's no such thing as
See
an
it.
Englishman, especially after the Six Nations yesterday. You should be
Yes.
home hiding
Give you
under
credit
your
there.
beds.
It's us or the Welsh against the world.
Yeah, you are the Welsh. It's Ireland dominating for the second time the Six Nations. So go home to bed. Don't think, oh, careful. I don't need to be careful. We won.
Taff, take it
We
out.
won twice. We won the Six Nations yesterday in
Wales-
the
Wales was
greatest
better.
day. If Wales were better, Wales would have won.
They let
Wales
you
did
win.
not.
They let you win.
They
I'd rather
did.
be Welsh
Yes,
than
the
Irish.
Welsh. You think
Is
the
that-
Welsh
I'd
let
rather-
us
it's
win?
better to be Welsh than
Leonardo
Irish.
Sarto helped us to win. Italy helped us to
Let
win.
you win.
France helped us to win. We already
Nation of
were
frogs,
ready
the
to
French.
win.
Don't bring them into this
The English
argument.
wanted to win. You're set up for your World Cup, but
We are
unfortunately, you're
indeed.
not going into it as the champions.
The Americans would never
So
win.
you've
gotta beat South
got
Africa.
some catching up to do. You've got a little catching up to do, great Imperial England. You've got a little
Thank
catching
you for
up to
that.
do because a little Ireland with its
little
4.5
cat-
million
with all the
people
green goblins
beat
running around.
your 55 million people yesterday.
We outnumber you
in great
on this
style.
island as well.
10-1 you outnumber us. We're 2/3 the size of England, but you
And
have
1/2 the
10 times
brain.
the population.
And you sell Guinness.
Yeah.
That's all you
So
sell.
now you see
Ireland's
what they see.
contribution to
You
world
don't realise this,
alcoholism.
but this is what they see. This is what I put up with. This is why I teach at an American university.
Drink your Guinness.
This is what I have, because all these guys see is not Gerry, not a professor, not somebody who's here with his students.
Tommy
They see
Hilfiger,
one
is it
thing.
Tommy
They
Hilfiger?
see a leprechaun. They see a paddy. They see a stupid
Can you insult your
Irishman.
people more?
There is only one country on earth who
Yes.
doesn't see
Scotland.
Ireland, and that's this
The
crowd.
Irish made America.
I know people in this country for 20 years, and they still see me only as a green paddy.
green
Samuel
man.
Beckett, who I specialise in his
Very
theatre,
brave man.
who lived here for 2 years, he said, I got to get out of this country. He was Anglo-Irish, he was a Huguenot Protestant. He said,
The
I got to
best.
get out of London because even the taxi drivers, I'm a paddy here. I'll never be anything
Well, go
other than
build
a
the
paddy.
roads better.
He went then. And he went and learned French and lived in France for 50 years and won the Nobel Prize for his writing in French theatre,
Come
and
back,
is
William
regarded
Orange.
today by
Bring
my
back
French
William
students
Orange.
as a French writer. So, but these
Standing
crowds,
with my Welsh brother.
I do think that English people are very tolerant. They could not have allowed London to be. I must say I greatly admire their monarch, which
built-
many of them don't admire.
You built our road.
But when it comes to Ireland, they're idiots. when it comes to Ireland, they're blind. Their history has made them absolutely blind and
Were
bigoted.
you an IRA bomber in a previous
See,
life?
listen to this.
You might not like to hear this, but some of us don't like the IRA.
In Mountjoy Jail one Monday morning, high upon the gallows tree, Kevin Barry gave his young life
Shall I tell it?
for the cause of liberty. Just a lad of 18 summers, yet there's
Country
no
has more rain
one
than ours.
can deny.
He's been on the Guinness.
As he went to death that morning,
Probably.
he proudly held his head on high.
And had it chopped off, yeah.
Shoot me like an Irish soldier, do not hang me like a dog, for I fought for Ireland's freedom on that cold September morn, all around that little bakery where we fought them, you, hand to hand.
Always lose. Ever heard of Oliver
Shoot me
Cromwell?
like an Irish soldier,
William of Orange, bring
for I
back.
die
God
for
save the
Ireland. Just before he faced the hangman
What's with the beard? Yeah.
in his dreary prison cell, those British soldiers tortured Barry
We did.
just because he would not tell the names of his companions. Other things they wish to know. Turn informer and we'll free you.
Singing your lot.
Bravely Barry answered no. Another martyr for old Ireland.
You can stop now.
Another murder for the crown, whose brutal laws may kill the Irish, but can't keep our spirits down. Lads like Barry are no cowards, from the foe they will not fly. Lads like Barry will free Ireland,
Irish church service.
or for its sake they'll fight and die. So shoot me like an Irish soldier, but do not hang me like a dog, for I fought for Ireland's
String you up
freedom
and execute you
on
Oliver
that
Cromwell style.
cold September morn,
And he's over there.
all
from
around
that
that
part of the
little
country.
bakery where I fought you hand to hand. So shoot me like an Irish soldier, for I die for Ireland.
Woo! Yeah, Jerry.
That's what I think of these crowds.
Eurovision Song
And that's
Contest
only
winner.
one song of 100. I'll sing another one later.
Please no.
That's even a little bit more true to the point. Kevin Barry, that song was about, was an 18-year-old medical student at UCD. And he had been a student at Belvedere College where James Joyce went to school. But however, he was arrested in an ambush
Joyce
because
was
we
a
were in
Nazi.
we had the War of Independence going from 1919 to 1921. And he was a proud member of the Irish Republican Army at that time in Dublin, although he was only 18. And even though his parents couldn't even understand it, he felt part of that insurrection. And so he did go along to a little bakery as the section commander
Can I lighten
of the
the mood
Irish
with a joke
Republican Army.
from the north of our
And
country?
then there were 6 soldiers. The
won't get
British
it.
soldiers handed over their weapons. There was a provisional government in Dublin, and the British Army were there to fight that. There was a civil, not a civil, but
My friend
a
from
war of
Northern
independence going on. And then they took him. They got him. And they brought him to
Oh,
Mountjoy
yeah.
Jail, and they
The
kept
peace
him for
won't
1
hold.
month, and they tortured him, an 18-year-old medical student, and then they executed. And all he asked was that they would shoot him. They court-martialed him. He said, "I'm a soldier of the Irish Republican Army. Shoot me, but do not hang me." But of course, like Margaret Thatcher after them, they like to treat Irish people as
Well, she
criminals,
suggests
as
a
criminals,
Berlin-style
not
wall in
citizens
Northern
with a right
Ireland.
to independence, not a solid neighbour to the west. But as criminals who somehow they like to treat like little people with learning difficulties because we happen to be beside their big bloody empire. So that,
No history. We don't want
and then we built our own better than we built yours, thank God.
Leave the Welsh
So-
out of
What are you
that.
doing tomorrow? I don't want any history.
I
little
don't care.
Welshman.
I am very much a man of today,
Yes,
and I would
not
say that
tomorrow.
the greatest event, a symbolic event in recent history in
Eclipse.
Ireland was the visit of Queen Elizabeth to the
Absolutely.
Republic of
Yes,
Ireland.
yes, yes.
So
So
we
it's
are
eclipse.
in a new place. only for one reason, because some English people are prepared to recognise equality and respect Irish people and their history. But with you crowd, if it was left up to you crowd, we would still be, I'd be another Kevin Barry if it was left up to this.
I'm a Republican.
Angry today.
I'm from Liverpool. I am part Irish, aren't I? From Liverpool.
Yeah, a lot of Liverpool are Irish.
He's very angry today.
Are you angry?
In ancestry.
Not at Liverpool, I love Liverpool.
The famine.
My arm is tired, Gerry.
So there you go. It's lovely to talk back to these people.
Mr. Speaker.
Every day of my life,
should I
I
vote
teach at
for?
the
Mr.
American
Speaker,
Intercontinental
then
University,
Mr. Speaker.
at Syracuse University, at the Grande École de Paris, and at Florida State. And every
Who should I vote for?
That's what you don't know, sir,
I'm in
because
a
I
rush.
carry an American passport. But
I'm in a
what
rush.
even the English people who teach at those places,
Who should I
and
vote
they're
for?
the intelligentsia of the British, still see me as a
empire to
leprechaun
you.
and a paddy. And thanks to you and to you, I get a chance today at Speaker's Corner to put my point across. I'm sick of it. Like Beckett, I'm sick of it. But unlike Beckett, I'm not going to move to Paris. I'll stand my ground.
Very
I'll come to
necessary part
Speaker's
of the
Corner
country,
and I'll
Canterbury.
tell you what despicable creatures
I've been
you are
there.
until you own up to your history. And these, you know, the worst part
Oh,
of it.
and Ireland
You know,
isn't
this,
drenched
and,
in
on
blood.
this, on this I will end. The worst part of it is that these people expect me to join in their little Irish jokes as they demean me.
What are the Irish doing fighting with English? They got sense. That's all.
Conquerors always have done that. You know what it's like when an Englishman wants me. I don't know whether you know about the Irish famine.
Yeah.
When we had 8 million before it
Got
and
the
4
Catholic
million
Church
after.
to thank for that.
4 million after it. 2 million died, let die by those people. 2 million emigrated. We've never ever had 8 million. We always had 8 million before the famine. We
Who should
still
I vote
have
for?
4
Can you tell me who
million.
to vote for, please?
Now, if an Englishman wants me to conspire in this little paddy joke, it's exactly like a Nazi SS man expecting a Jew from a concentration camp to joke about what happened.
He's very
Yes, but
angry.
Like
today.
hell, I am angry and I shall not
But
forget.
that's an alternative
And until you
comedy.
crowd
Welsh,
properly
English.
own up to what you did in Ireland,
Arthur.
and until you begin to see us as human beings, I shall remain angry.
Kevin. Doesn't alternative comedies morph into political
bet I do.
correctness?
You bet I do.
He's a good
You
man.
bet I
He's a
do.
good man.
You bet I do. We had ships of corn leaving Ireland, enough to feed the country, coming over here to feed English
Which
people.
century are you talking about?
Were 1840 to 1846,
Oh, it'll be
when
off
we
by- it'll be
had
off
to
by
eat
now.
potatoes, and when the potato failed,
Brought to
we
your
died.
country by
And then you
our
blamed us
ancestor.
for being stupid enough to depend on the potato when we were farming your farms and on our land and giving our food to you. By God, I do. Yes, I blame you. As much as the Nazis are to blame for the
Oxford, come
Holocaust.
on.
You
Oxford.
had your
Will you
own
tell me who to vote
genocide and Holocaust, and it was the Irish famine. So now maybe you'd like me to have a little paddy joke about it. I'm sorry. With you, I never shall. I never shall. I am angry, and I will remain angry, and I shall finish with a song.
Why blame the Welsh?
Another one? Okay, I got this.
So sick.
God's curse on you, England.
No!
You cruel-hearted monsters.
Catholic pig.
Your deeds, they will shame all the devils in hell. There are no flowers blooming, but the shamrocks are growing on the grave of James Connolly,
Interesting
the
character, James
Irish
Connolly.
rebel.
Republican.
Save that for you.